Right, I wonder if this is true, right, for a lot of people out there. So give me some feedback. Tell me how it went, right? Yeah. So you've seen somebody playing some killer blues on harmonica on the TV or something. You've heard some great stuff going on, or you knew someone that played harmonica. Right, so somewhere along the line you end up with a harmonica in your hand somehow, right? And then I don't know, then maybe somebody says, because you want to play the blues, a lot of people want to play the blues, okay? And you find out there's some bends, and you got to bend notes. And you're like, right, I've got to do that like now, next week. I'm gonna learn to, yeah, all right, I'm gonna do that. Then this is where the work starts, okay? So give me feedback. Is that how it started for you? Almost like you was tricked into it, because of course you might have heard somebody playing a song on harmonica, but then there's the blues, right, where you're hearing a bunch of noises that make rhythmic sense, and it sounds cool, and you've gone, that's what I want to do. And then you've been told, sorry, there's this other thing that you need to do, right? Okay. And it's called bending notes, right? Yeah, give me feedback if that's how you started out. Right, this video is a bunch of signposts, right? And some of it's my experience, and some of it is just how it is, okay? All right, so I'm going to go through these. This is my experience, right? I found a video, so I went, YouTube, Adam Gusso and all that sort of thing. I went through the usual avenues that most people did. Okay, so let's say you've got a half decent harmonica, like a Hohner Special 20, something that works outside the box. Most people in the community recommend a decent harmonica, especially if you're doing bending, right? One thing I will say straight away is, let's say you're a bit of an addict like me, and you're just buying harmonicas, right? Okay, one thing I will say is jumping from one harmonica to another, different brands and different models, will possibly hinder your progress of learning. So I would say straight away, yeah, try different harmonicas, buy different harmonicas, whatever, do what you want, right? But when you're practicing bending and trying to master bending, get better at bending, stick with the same one. Yeah, it's because harmonicas vary in how airtight they are. They vary in how they sound a little bit. They vary in, yeah, so there's variables which can hinder your progress. All right, so that's tip number one. But I ain't here really to give you tips in that sense, because I'm not a pro, right? I went and found all different resources that helped me. So here's number one. So free YouTube resource video number one. So it's called Precise Bending on Harmonica, and the guy, his name is Metej, M-A-T-E-J, tatamata. Okay, right? The information that he gave and the visual, so this is what I'm getting to, right? The information and the visual stuff that he put across, right, and the noises that he makes really helped me to sort of start that process. Just start it. Because no matter what people tell you, right? So there's number one, right? I'll go through the list just in case you choose not to continue watching this video. Right, number two, how to bend draw notes, beginner harmonica. Will Wild, you know, he goes. It's quite a short video, and he goes through the draw bends, A, E, I, O, and all these noises, and all I'm doing here is signposting you, really, not trying to break down what they do. But again, he's quite visual. You can hear what he's doing, and he gives you tips in quite a short video, which just is bang. It just sort of gets you, you know, from 1 to 4 quite quickly, sort of thing, in a sense. Gives you some target points. Okay. Number 3, Jon Gindick. Right, again, quite short videos, very quite simple concepts. Kiku, he talks about the Kiku factor. Yeah, right. You once you've been around for a little while, you'll know that makes perfect sense. Okay, how to bend, and the video is called How to Bend 2 and 3 Draw on a Diatonic Harmonica. That's Jon Gindick. Okay, get it. Get all these things. If you come to that bridge where it's like bending, I want it now sort of thing, and you're not on it in any school or any lessons, and you're searching the free world on YouTube, then these are the guys. The other one is Richard Sleigh, right? He's got some videos on YouTube which he gives some sort of like, he uses like tools where he's showing you like a scientific, if you like, what happens when you're bending. So there's that, very helpful. Why not? It's free. But also on his website, Richard Sleigh, yeah, Bending Meditations, there's a file that you buy for $1.99. That's like nothing, do you know what I mean? You download it, and it's got all the sounds that you're trying to achieve. A straight note, whole one, bent, and the sound is played for a minute. And that's what you're trying to achieve, because no matter what people try and sell you, at the end of the day, whether you get this or not is based upon what you do with this and how you receive with this, your ear, yeah, okay. And the time that you put in, and the work you put in. So the Richard Sleigh. Also, Richard Sleigh, I gotta say this, man, his courses, he's like Joe Felisko. Their courses are very cheap in financial measurement, right? They're very cheap. So he's got a course, this is Richard Sleigh, the bending course, okay? And it is sort of like, out of all the people that sell material, it's quite there's a lot of stuff. You're getting so much, and don't get, and right, most of these guys that I've talked about here and in the world of harmonica, they're very, very approachable. Okay, a lot of them, they play music live, they teach, whether it's online or something, or in person. They've made material that they sell. They've got YouTube videos all over the place. So that's Richard Sleigh. The next one, right, so those other guys, the guys that I've talked about, really, they don't necessarily talk so much about tongue blocking specifically. So then I was, well, when I first started getting onto tongue blocking, Dave Barrett, bluesharmonica.com, There's in all Hohner harmonicas, there's a free little voucher thing there. You get a free month. Use it, man. Use it. Try it. Get on it. But anyway, he gets to a stage where he talks about bending in that. And so then you like bending, tongue blocking, whoa, sort of thing. Wow, what am I going to do now? Sort of, whoa. And so then I was directed towards a guy called Sanky. So videos called Harmonica, Tongue Blocking, How to Bend, Part 1. Because I think there's about six videos on YouTube. Again, free. So far I've been talking about free stuff. Okay, so this is for the average person who wants to go down that road and they've come up against the roadblock of bending, and it's basically down to Google searching and communities where you might bump into a helpful person and you might not. Yeah, it can be really encouraging. It can be really discouraging. Because right, let's get this thing out the way here. Right, resources. There's a Bend It Better app online. It's a Google thing. You Google it, Bend It Better, and you press your microphone and it works. And you try and do a bend, and it's got a picture of the layout of a harmonica. I don't know, I'm going to get this wrong. Let's say the notes are A and B, for instance. A line, when you bend, the line goes down from A to B, right? Slight problem with bending apps is because when you make the noise on the harmonica, it's then got to travel to your device, into the microphone, and then the software needs to process it, and then the line does this. No matter what bending app you're using, there's a lag, it's a delay. Yeah, so it's not that accurate. What is accurate over time, right, is, well, now, right, a keyboard or a piano, that's accurate. Right, accurate, because you press the button and you hear it. Okay, and then what's accurate over time is you hearing that. And what I did was I got a cheap keyboard, charity shop, and I learned what the key layout was, and I got a marker pen, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and all the way along, and then I played the note that I want to play on the harmonica, and I found out which black key you're pressing to copy or to try and to achieve. Yeah, if you get a keyboard, you'll understand what I'm on about. Everything we do is in relation to a keyboard, a piano. Yeah, because you've got major notes, and then you've got flats or sharps. When you bend, you're bending down to a flat or sharp. Yeah. Okay, so it's all on the keyboard. So there, right? And the biggest thing that is going to help you is learning by ear. Now, how can I put that into words? I can't really. It's just, you know what your name is because people said your name over and over and over and over. You know how to talk. You know how to understand what people are saying because you've learned, you've listened to people. You've had to get what you want to get what you need. It's like, oh right, what are you saying? How do I get there? I'm listening. Well, that's what it's like with harmonica. If you're listening, you'll get to where you need to go. But it's learning to listen. Yeah. You can't put an importance on learning by ear. It is massive. It's a massive thing. So if you're still listening to the video, I want to end with this, and this is my opinion. Okay, it's my opinion, but it's been I've had people go, I've had teachers, I've had professional, I've had people that are endorsed by Hona and by other companies. I've had people who professionally teach. I've had people, yeah, they've said, totally agree. Totally agree. And what I'm getting across here is just simply, right, yeah. Right, here's an example, right? I wholly endorse Jason Ritchie's channel, Patreon and all that, yeah. He's an online friend, right, and a great teacher, right? But here's an example. If you go and search up Jason Ritchie online lesson on YouTube, where he's teaching someone to bend, okay? He's not really, I don't think he's really teaching someone to bend, but he's showing the video. Half of the screen is him, half of the screen is a pupil who's volunteered for the lesson, for the sake of teaching someone to bend on a lesson. It's actually a good example of how difficult it is. So hat off to them both, you know, hats off to them both for doing it, yeah. But it's a good example of how difficult it is for anyone to actually teach it. So the guys that have recorded themselves, or that I mentioned earlier, right? Metej, Tatamata, Will Wild, Jon Gindick, Richard Sleigh, they've recorded themselves, and so the video is captured and they put it on YouTube or wherever, yeah. They've did that once, and hundreds of people have watched them and benefited from them. But when you, I would definitely say, and this is my opinion, although it's been confirmed by others, I would say, right, you are wasting your money paying somebody to give you a lesson to teach you to bend. Hats off to anyone who tries to teach it, and if you can, you might get someone to begin to bend. You might even get them to do a bend by the end of the hour on Zoom or in person, unless you're a real good friend and you visit their house and you've got all the time in the world to sit with these people. You know, I would strongly, I would say, you know, don't bother with real lesson, live lesson, yeah, on Zoom or anything like that, you know, in the first 6 months of learning. I would say, like, if you found this video, you're already online, you're already in the community, yeah, there's Facebook groups where people will happily, willingly give you free advice. There's all these videos where people, yeah, maybe, just maybe, right, just maybe, yeah, if you can play the major scale, if you can play clean single notes, because this is the problem. This is the problem now. People will pay someone for a lesson to teach bending when they haven't really got clean single notes. Their breathing technique isn't up to scratch, sort of thing. Yeah, it's not very good. It's not belly breathing. So it's that lesson is just gonna fall down. You're paying somebody. I'm not saying that's what happened with Jason Ritchie and the other guy. I'm just sort of saying that it's a good example of how how difficult it is, and also, let's say that lesson costs you £40, $40, $60, I don't know. You could spend, and there will be someone who will go, oh, I can get you to bend, I can teach you to bend, you know, I'm a good teacher, look at all my resources and all that. And I'm certainly not saying that's Jason Ritchie. He doesn't, I've never heard him say that, actually. I've watched a lot of his free videos on YouTube. He's got years worth of it, and you know, it's just so advanced and so comprehensive, especially the fact that a lot of it's just, well, it's free. Do you know what I mean? But when we're talking about bending here, I've never heard him actually try to convince anybody that he can teach people to bend. Do you know what I mean? Or anything like that. So if you're asking for people for advice on bending in groups, and somebody says, buy my lessons, as in, when I say lessons, I mean one-to-one sort of lessons, take lessons with me and I will teach you to bend. I think you could be wasting your money at that stage, but please don't shoot me down. Give me your opinion. Did you pay for lessons, and did it help you to bend? Bearing in mind, and again, this is my experience now, right? My experience is it could take months or years to learn to bend. Yeah, that's my experience, because most of it, like we're talking about ear training, and we're talking about embouchure, training your mouth, retraining your mouth, your tongue, your throat, your cheeks, to move minuscule at a time to create a sound that the harmonica was not even built to make. Yeah. So, you know, I definitely want your feedback on this. Definitely want your feedback. I'm going to end the video there. I hope that that this video helps those. Listen. If you've sat all the way through this and you're thinking I'm talking rubbish, then you've got too much time on your hands, right? Okay. But if you've sat all the way, my videos aren't for people who can play harmonica. Okay, my videos, I'm not saying don't watch them if you can play harmonica. I'm just saying, if you're sat there complaining about my video because your experience is you've been playing for 3 years and you're a master, then crack on, enjoy your life, find videos that will help you advance. You know, don't sit there moaning about my stuff. But if you've got this far, yeah, we're talking, mostly I've been talking about free resources, right? Let's get this out of the way. I am not saying everything in life is free. I'm not saying you're going to be great if you continue on the free path. I'm not saying that, right? Yeah. Right now I'm in Tomlin's harmonica school, which certainly isn't cheap, but I'm telling you now, if you can afford that, right, that will get you, that will get you where you're going, if you get what I'm saying. It's really good, right? I've also paid for one-on-one lessons, and I will again. They have their place. Okay, I've paid for stuff from Liam Ward, Ronnie Cellist, the harmonica barge, Joe Falisco, Richard Sleigh, probably more stuff. I've got more stuff on files and things like that. So I've paid. Yeah, I ain't just saying this stuff is going to fall out the sky. Freebies. Jason Ritchie, I'm on his Patreon, and like I said earlier, watch his videos. Get into the rhythm of what he's doing. He's got stuff that's for beginner to onwards, basically. Quite a lot of his lessons, very few of his lessons cover something that a beginner, when I say a beginner, somebody who can play single notes, very few of his lessons sort of like don't give something for everybody. Yeah, you can sit there and get into the rhythm and copy what he's doing within 2 days. Do you know what I mean? But that's the thing. This is the thing. Bending is going to take time. Yeah, it's going to take time. Give yourself a break. Practice things. 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. And if you want to be a pro and you've got more time, and also a lot of this might come down to your age, how quickly you pick things up. My kids pick things up quick time. It's like, whoa, going on. They retain information quick and long, yeah, unlike me. And also remember what I said at the start, get a harmonica that works. This is a rocket. They just work. They just work, right? Out of the box. You don't need to tweak them unless you want to. Get a daily driver and use it. Get to know it, spend time with it. Even if you do jump around from key to key and from brand to brand, yeah? When you're bending, go back to that one. Go back to that one. And because and stick with it. Yeah? Especially if it's a Honer Special 20 or a rocket. Even if you've got a marine band or whatever, or the Oscar. I'm saying, if it's working, if the harmonica works, it's fairly new, it's a half decent brand, then when it comes to bending, stick with it and keep going back to that one whilst you're training to bend. I can't emphasize that enough. But I hope this video's helped. Sorry about the length of the video. If you're still here, then I hope you're enjoying harmonica. Be blessed.